You have the tools that it takes, Pisces, to create what you need, and you may feel like there's a vulnerability in a situation, but there isn't. You may be expending more energy giving. You are being recognized, but are you giving yourself that same energy back? Also, if you're concerned that time is running out with TikTok, there's nothing that's running out as far as time. Just be aware that all you have to do is recognize what you have within you, what you offer, the tools that you do provide, and then you will see that you're not as vulnerable as you may think. But possibly consider that you could give, but just be sure that you're not giving more than what you are receiving back. It is all an energy exchange, so you don't want to deplete yourself. Virgo, you have Two of Cups coming up, and as well as loosening your grip. You may have been struggling possibly with a person that you wanted to create a union or a harmony with. Generally, Two of Cups is romantic. Willing to release is upside down. It looks like, in true essence, there's no one that really wants to release the situation, but possibly you are hanging on to something, and maybe in an addictive mannerism. Also, you have King of Pentacles upside down. More of a need to focus on your material realm or your work realm. Here it's also showing the shaman, which is the ancient healing wisdom. Tend to receive this for individuals that have in their ancestors some sort of mysticism. Being able to be tuned into both the spiritual as well as the material world, and to allow the divine creator in so that you can deal with whatever this is, because truly it looks like no one really wants to let the situation go. Aries, there may be a need for you to trust in the divine timing of things, or that things will synchronize appropriately once you learn the lesson that is coming up. And Willow is also coming up. You are able to bend in a situation, looking to a way to bend rather than maybe forcing it. Sometimes maybe it's hard to bend because you may have your mind set on something. And also, you may be considering, in a sense, that you don't play victim in situations. Even though you're not playing victim in the situation, you may be looking at it as if you're having a hard time recovering, or you're carrying a heavy weight. But it's not as heavy of a weight as you may think. It might just be that once you catch that lesson, you'll be able to see further. Libra, you may not be sensing the fact that you need a break. Vacation is coming up. And it may not be on the literal sense, but it may be in the sense of the things in your environment you need a break from, or to act like you're on vacation when you come home. And Six of Wands is that energy of someone coming home and people celebrating their presence when they do come home. So there is this sense that you can feel uplifted when you rest or when you go home, or you can celebrate taking a break right now. That would be a powerful move that maybe you're not tuning into. A powerful move is upside down. You may think that you have to keep going in the situation or pushing yourself a little bit hard, but you might find a replenishment or a love for the break that you need to take a moment to really enjoy whatever is regarded as home for you, or an environment of coming home. Even be around people that are in your flock or in your tribe. Gemini, you may be feeling as if there's a circumstance where you feel nostalgic towards some situation, but maybe the other person isn't feeling as nostalgic as you. You have to see that you need to heal, and once you allow yourself that opportunity to walk away from the circumstance, then you can mend whatever is happening with this individual in the relationship. You have an oath coming up upside down. There could be a lack of commitment coming in. Whatever it is, it needs a moment. You also have Forge, Don't Follow upside down, which states pave a new path, be the leader that you wish you had. You have to forge forward and force anything right now. Look at more of what is your purpose, what is your pathway, and maybe your path is really not to follow this person or to, resonate in this old echo that's coming up, more resonate in this new path. Sagittarius, you may be experiencing some karmic relationships. There's polarity, a soul growth, or a conflict. So there's a need to learn a lesson with someone, possibly. If you felt like maybe the individual had made you feel as if there were so many options available for them, or that you just weren't the right choice, and now it's time to move on so you don't get stuck in cyclic existence, so that we can synchronize with what we're meant to. You have the Wealth card coming coming up also. So once the lesson is learned, then you can land on your feet, head to the right path. The nature card, Sagittarius is very much in tune with nature, and that'll allow you to see all the wealth that's available to you, because wealth is not just, of course, on that material concept. It could be anything that you see a wealth in. Allow yourself that moment to decompress if the weather permits where you are, or bring nature to you at home. Then you can see that your dreams could come true, or you could resonate with the direction or path that you're meant to be on. Cancer, you have upper world upside down. You're not tapping into the connection to divine. And then you have ever unfolding rose, which states it's happening for you, not to you. So if a circumstance isn't moving the way that you desire, could very well be that you're being saved from a situation. And you may be seeing it like, why is the universe doing this to me? Sometimes when something isn't working out, it's for a very good reason. Maybe it's just not the best path for you, and it's not divinely guided. Could be an expired situation, and time to look at it a little bit more from the spiritual or the higher realms, whatever you believe in. Higher consciousness is upside down, connecting to your higher consciousness to be able to see how protection right side up. You're being prevented from being in a circumstance that just is not for you. You also have the focus card coming up. Once you know that there's something there that you want to accomplish, then you'll understand that if you put your mind to it and don't get distracted, that you will be on target. It looks here, Leo, like maybe you're more focused on the material world, thinking that something isn't working out the way you desire, but also just be aware that Golden Palace can also be our own temple. Be a time for us to as well tap into our own divinity, so we can create this Golden Palace within us. And that finding things externally won't necessarily help us in our direction. We need to go more inward to understand, sensing the things that can actually activate our direction for us. Eight of Wands coming up upside down. You may think that maybe it's hasteful to jump ahead into some situation. Actually, if you put your efforts towards the direction that you're supposed to, it's not going to be hasteful. And now it's time for you to move ahead. Power of Purpose upside down, Two of Swords also coming up. You may also be ignoring some powerful purpose or role that you have, that you could serve a more divine destiny. Aquarius, you have adventure coming up upside down. You may be ignoring some need to travel or a need to venture out into some new path. There's this new outlook of life that wants to be present for you, not to hesitate to create the action or the discipline that's required, and not to procrastinate. Truth being upside down, meaning that you're not catching this new outlook that wants to be present in your reality if you go out and venture. You also have To Be Fair upside down. It's looking like you're not even being fair to yourself by not seeing this truth to be able to go out and go on this adventure. You may need it. And then Deep Replenishment is coming up upside down, which states retreat, rest, be held. For you, it's showing up that you need this replenishment, that if you take this adventure, a transformation can occur. Transformation's also upside down. So all your cards are coming up upside down. Not to fear that your cards are coming up upside down. It just means that you gotta see how you need this break. You need this replenishment. You need to go out and have fun. Taurus, you have Reveal coming up as well as Retreat. It may be that you have seen or have noticed some signs that you need to retreat or rest. It's revealing to you this sign that it actually could be a success if you take a moment to retreat. That once we regenerate or power up, then things can be successful, perhaps in your material realm. Inner Temple coming up, which states devotion, tune into the portal of your heart. So tapping into your body, tapping into yourself, your soul, your spirit, and to notice that maybe you're moving a lot, creating a lot of action, and actually right now you need to pause. Movement is upside down. Tune into your heart center so that you can tap into the rest that you truly need. Scorpio, you have movement, choices, and decisions. So as you can see, there's a lot of different things that could be offered to you presently, but possibly you're not noticing how supported you are. So you got Keepers of the Earth upside down. So if you tap in to see that there's support for you, these things that could be offered to you, and then you can make the best decision so that you can move towards the appropriate path and make that right choice, that right decision to see what is the most divinely led, with the eagle also coming up. You also got the love, which states codependency and boundaries. You need to be sure you also create the right boundaries, because that'll help you to create the right choices. Or if you're dependent on a situation, something that makes you feel better, or maybe it's some vice that you need to like uplift you, be aware that create a boundary on those things that could be toxic for you, or situations that will create a stagnation for you, because we want to open up that path to move towards the decision that you need to make for the things that you want to bring in. The intuition card, you have a sense of things, you have a clear vision of things that can guide you to create the most wisest choices, and to continue to use that sense of self, that you can tune into the right path, and it shows that you actually are on the correct path, so you can jump into that reality that you need to tap into. Trust your instincts, and then there may be someone that you may need to share these divine messages with, because with this card it does state share the divine message from your heart with those concerned, and then be open to needed changes. So if you're tapping into something, also be open to the fact that you may have to change or shift a little bit. Take a break, which states a life's work, not a season. Get off the treadmill. Sometimes you need a break. Sometimes you don't need to be running on that hamster wheel, expending your energy where maybe possibly you may not be receiving that same energy back. So if you take a step back, take a moment to take a break, then you can see and understand, is this hard to recover from? This is a Pisces card. That's the energy of the new moon we just had. That's the season that we're presently in. Pisces is going to be in the air for at least part of this month, and next month we have Venus going into Pisces, which actually is a good position for that planet. But the thing with Pisces is it could be creative, it could be amazing as far as intuition or dreams, but we could be disillusioned, or we could be emotional, or possibly that we may not be able to see certain situations the best that we can, because it may not be clear, because we may be moody on the situation. So look a little bit more from the recluse element. It's like some of us need to rest. This season also, with a lot of the Pisces in the air, it's also Jupiter for another 2 more months. There could be this feeling that you need to rest, that you need to sleep, so that you recover and get rest, so that you can understand what is the moods that's coming in, what is the element that's coming in that may be bothering us, or maybe, not really moving the way it should. Now, I also wanted to communicate a bit about astrology. I gave you all a break with my astrology updates, but I felt like it was time for people to kind of get a break and focus more on themselves. And I didn't want to give people too much anxiety with, the astrology that is coming up. I am a believer that even though we have our own chart, or the things that do impact us during transits, I also feel that we have this symphony almost, or musical, that's playing for all of us that we're experiencing from the stars, that does set the tone for our environment. April and May, there is 2 eclipses. Jupiter is also going to go into Aries in May. There's going to be a full moon in Scorpio. Mercury is going to be retrograde in Gemini. May is going to be pretty intense. Jupiter does stay for a few months in Aries, and then it retrogrades back into Pisces, and then it goes back into Aries for quite some time. The element of what could be present with this planet, Jupiter is a planet of expansion, religion, it's philosophy. It's also got a warrior element to it, and Aries is that soldier concept, and even though they're both fire, Sagittarius or Jupiter is this wisdom consciousness, or it is that tapping into the higher realms. And with Aries here, it may seem like it'll be hard for us to tap into the higher realms, or there may be some warlike energies present. And anytime there is an eclipse, it's a fog period that can be present, or a confusing period that can be present. Though the first eclipse is in a Taurus moon. Taurus moon is a good position for the moon. It is happy, it's stable, it's what is called exalted, stabilizes the mood of the planet, which is ruled by a Cancerian moody planet. Eclipses again sometimes create this haze or an element of us feeling like we're in the dark until things kind of open up when there's a second eclipse, because eclipses happen in 2s or 3s. Being that there is a few positions of the planets that could be rough and that could feel like they're combative in energy and that will last for a few months with Jupiter in Aries. So I just wanted to bring that awareness in, and nothing to fear. Just be sure that you're staying on your path, that you're focused on your mission. No mission is too small. Pay attention to the energy of stagnancy and the things that do move for you. If you find yourself in a cycle, whether it's a long-term cycle or not, that you are aware of it and you begin to take baby steps before it even makes sense. But if you intuit to take the right steps, small steps, the right direction, then things start to unravel. It takes the pressure off when you head towards the appropriate path. And I hope this helps you all in the present.